Board games. I might be talking about the way that you work, but I'm not gonna shout. Do you do your stuff every day? Or do you do it suddenly all at once in a big rush to get it out the way? Do you do your stuff late to the deadlines? Or do you do it a bit at a time? Do you do a bit at a time? Do you say, hey, I'm getting stressed? Or do you keep calm and relaxed? And the question is, which is best? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are, 10 a.m.ish UK time for Busy Beats and Board Game Bladder. And oh my gosh, the next few episodes are really lining up. I put out a call to say that I am doing my 1000th episode on May the 18th, which is in about 21, 22, 23 days. And I've still got, I believe, well, when I made a post yesterday, I had 7 dates, and now I've got about 2 dates left. So tomorrow it's going to be Manuel, then Jess Medringham, then Ben Downton, then I'll be going to London Friday daytime playtesting, then like showing you Dicini over the weekend. Not got anything on the Saturday, but anyway, today I am still working on my typography. That is what it's all about. I've been up late. I've been up late, and let me show you what I've done. Let me talk about the recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. Is it 76 today? Is that correct? Yes, I think it is. My gosh, it keeps hiding. My windows are badly organized. I do apologize. So yeah, this topic was inspired because I'm actually quite happy with how it turns out. I made sure to use all the dark colors for the backgrounds. It's the blues, the greens, the purples. There's also a little bit of cyan there, which is basically blue-green. And in the front of it is the red, the pink, the maroon, the yellow, the white, and then the black is just to show off the edges. This is obvious. Let me go through them in the order roughly that I did them. So we've got the vowels A and E. Those are hopefully totally identifiable as an A and E. And then I and O. Just like all of them have this big. Someone said that it looks nicer the other way around, like you're looking at it like, I'm looking down at you. But these are all the top letters. So this is going to be for the categorical deck. So A, E, I, N, O, R, S, T. Is going to be at the top of them, and then all the other letters will be at the bottom. There are numbers and little indices that I did separately. Those are just over here. These are the little things that I did. Oh, sweet. But all of this colouring I'm really proud of. Let's go in alphabetical order as I collate them all. B and C. I just want to point out that I started off, they were a bit too similar to B and the C, but hopefully, like, I don't know, when you see that, is it immediately like, that's a G, that's a G, is that a G? Yeah, I think that's a G. Because, you know, people will be seeing these cards from all different angles, and hopefully it's still recognizable. And hopefully it's still like, yeah, that's a C. Yeah, that's a C. Hopefully. I mean, that's what I'm aiming for, that people can tell the letters apart. So that's, you know, I know that seems like a really fundamental thing to be like, my aim is that people can read it. And that is obviously the most important thing. Sure, the idea was to get the energy of graffiti and that kind of aggressive style, because categorical is an aggressive, it's us versus you, it's a team game, there's 2 people, you're quickly shouting out stuff, and so it is a frantic, energetic game. So the typeface has to be frantic and energetic, and hopefully the letters kind of express that. but it has to be firstly readable. I mean, if you couldn't see this and be like, hey, even upside down, I can tell that that's an F, then there is a problem with the playability of this game. And then we've got the G, H, J, K. Like I started off with, let me actually show you. All the things had little arrows, but the arrows weren't quite working. So I moved to these kind of half arrows. So it's like serifs, but it's like more angular than your typical serif. I mean, it gives it hopefully a bit more dynamism. And like looking at what I'd drawn at the start of the pandemic, like, you know what? I'm actually quite proud of it. At this, like a couple of weeks ago, I was feeling like, you know what? I just need to get it done, no matter what it looks like. MNOP. And it is, well, it's almost done. I need to still draw 6 background patterns, the 6 suits. You've got the swirls, also known as the curls, then the horizontal, the vertical, the diagonal, which is like a cross, and then the triangles, which are kind of like a zigzag, and the bubbles. And I'm going to try and express all of that with a similar energetic style. You know what? I'm going to just rush through that and putting that energy into it. U and V. This does remind me slightly of a lot of, like, I hope that these ones are differentiable. I hope that the V looks enough like a V. Maybe I needed to redraw the V. I didn't have enough paper. I would have liked it to be a little bit sharper at the bottom. But hopefully it's okay. I don't know. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, it's done. It's done. It's done. I'm not going... I did all the letters at once to make sure that they were being colored in the exact same way. So I started them off, then I went with this pen, and that pen, then the other pen, then came back to the first pen, and then each time I used the pen, I used it on literally everything. And the interesting thing is, like, I don't know if you can tell, some of the pens started running out, and that became, oh, that's quite cool. I'm going to use that. And finally, Y and Z. And the Z is hopefully, yeah, it looks a bit weird to be an N. So hopefully people can tell, yeah, the N's are meant, that's not how it's meant to be. And originally when I did this 3 years ago, back when I did the Kickstarter, the top letters were going to be rotated one way, and the bottom letters rotated the other way. And it was just when I was drawing that I felt, I'm not sure about this anymore. And yeah, I think that there's already enough going. They didn't need to be flipped different ways. And so that is that, and I'm really excited for it. This is the first one that I did, and despite like the stuff around it, I think you can sort of, I think my new letter A, if I bring it back out, hopefully you'll agree that it's improved. Like, this is the first one I colored in, when was it? Maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, something like that. Then I did that one, and I was like, yeah, that looks even better. And then this one, and hopefully you'll agree that just a wee bit more color. It's slightly warmer. It's got like a bit more sketchy lines around it. But I'm proud of it, and yeah, that's done. It's almost done. Just need to do the patterns, and then I will be, whew! I also got to do so many other things. I'm going to try to do a game about auctioning cubes after winning an auction to become the auctioneer, and that's going to be in my new Bezzy bargain bag. And I'm going to try to do what else? A game about a game with terrible rules about words that rhyme. Maybe it should be a game about terrible rules with words that rhyme. But yes, I that's it. That's my recent highlights. Brilliant think. What a little thing, which is brilliant. Just getting it done. Like, it did take the day, and that's what. But it is done. Finally, being like, okay, I'm putting it to the side, even though it's not the whole project. It's like these bits of paper, I've set them out. All the paint has dried overnight, and it's like, this is all done. Boom. That's brilliant. Just getting stuff finished is brilliant. As always, feel free to comment, ask questions, fun, like, follow. And my topic of the day is, how do you work? Do you work a little bit at a time, like every day? I mean, I know that if you are working in another full-time job, maybe you're like, okay, I need to grab like 1 or half an hour or 2 hours, like wherever I can. Maybe it's every day, maybe it's really regularly. But or alternatively, do you do it in fits and bursts? Are you like, okay, I don't do anything, and then suddenly boom, do a lot? We have a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises. I used to do, I think it was about 10 creatures a day. And, that took me about 2 hours. And I would, boom, that's my work. And then I would do basically nothing the rest of the day. When I say I would do nothing, like, yeah, I was kind of on holiday, like I'd enjoy time with friends, I'd go outside and enjoy the sunshine, and then I'd maybe come back and then check in on other stuff and ponder other stuff. And if I had emails or whatever, I'd do that like late at night maybe. But enjoy the world, like kind of get it done and then get out. And that was really something brilliant. And I kind of miss that regularity, like having something in the morning to get started. And I think that once I stop doing these streams, that might be something that I do, like every morning. Okay, let's do a few pictures for a game wherein you bladder Scottish Roman. I'm not going to say the full title. Or maybe I just start up the day with like some sketches and some art or maybe it's just like, okay, this is the core thing that I've got to do today. Let's just get that done. Because getting stuff done in the morning, like what's this? I don't take weekends off, for example. I mean, if anything, Saturdays and Sundays tend to be the days when I work the most. I mean, Fridays, I go to daytime playtest, and even though it's lots of fun, it's also an energetic thing. It takes a lot of cerebral energy. It's kind of, I'm not going to say it's draining. That feels like over egging the fact, but yeah, it does. It's tiring. Let's say that, but it's enjoyable. I come back invigorated. But sometimes, on the Saturday, I kind of need to have like basically the whole morning off, and then I feel bad about it. But why? Because like I'm just here working like basically 7 days a week, and for a while I've been like, okay, I'm going to try and take Monday off. Monday is my day off because normally I'm not at a convention, and the convention's finished and I'm traveling back, and if I'm in London, like that's the time when other people are, there's something going on, like in London, there's a daytime party, I try to go there. And so like I do a little bits of stuff, but the truth is I'm not great at organizing stuff, and so it comes to the last minute, and then it's like, okay, I've got to do it all in hardly any days, and then it's like, so how do you work? And that's really my question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. Question of the day. Yes, do you work slow and steady, or do you work in bursts? Because like back in the days, I understand that they used to say like on Mondays, they would like seamstresses, everyone would be like doing work to like a rhythm, and then on like certain days, like, and it was kind of start of slow and then Friday to accelerate, and it's like, hey, we're going to finish. Well, it's the end of the week. Let's get this all done. Let's get this all done. And I totally relate to that. I totally relate to just, you can't work at the same rates all the time. We're not robots. And so you need to be mindful of yourself. But at the same time, you can't just be like, well, that's the way it is. So it's like, it's that balance between being mindful of what works for you as a human, but also being willing to push or change yourself slightly in order to be more effective. And so, yeah, I'm sorry, there's no real end to this. It's just, I think that you've got to strike a balance and do some kind of keep it similar-ish, in that you kind of say, well, I want to have some days off and take those days off without feeling guilty. And rather than just crashing and then be like, okay, now I have to take the day off and that's a bit sad, be like, okay, I'm going to take this day off. I'm going to spend it, whatever that means, whether that means playing on a video game, or whether that means going outside or reading a book or magazine, or just sleeping the entire day. But like, do something. Like, I know someone said that actual rest is overrated and it's better to do something that's kind of like a change rather than a rest. And I'm not sure I agree with that, because for sure sometimes I want to be kind of resting my mind. I don't want to always be thinking on a problem. And I like going outside and just listening to music or listening to podcasts and wandering around. There's definitely no way my brain is always functioning at the same capacity. When I'm drawing, sometimes I'll be drawing and listening to music and listening to podcasts all at the same time. Sometimes it'll be like having a TV show on in the background, or sometimes it'll be just the music. But quite often it'll be the podcast as well, because just the music, it gets a little bit boring. So I need let's listen to what people are saying about games or science or whatever. But yeah, I do need to have moments of more activity and moments of less activity. I mean, both on a weekly basis, but also in a general, not always as productive as other times. But with all that said, yeah, I could definitely stand to improve. But yeah, over to you. What's right up to you? Can share button if you want. So I've got a friend coming over. I'm going to first finish off this. I'm going to draw a little 0 for a totally different game, where you use the 1, 2, 5, and 10. Maybe I should draw a little 10. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe the 1 for the 10 should be... I don't know. Anyway, but then I'm going to draw 6 patterns and boom, done. And send that over to my friend Jack, who's going to be putting that all together and hopefully get that to them tomorrow. And then you know what? If my friend's going to come over, and that might be it. I've got to do other stuff, but that's for Busy Bargain Bag, so that can wait until slightly later in the week. It's all good. That's what I'm up to. Arting, being with friends, but making sure to take some time off and get outside, because that's the key thing. Every day, take time off, go outside, listen to stuff. Like, you deserve time off. Like, not because you've done something, not just because, hey, you've done this work. Like, you deserve just get showered. Like, I find getting showered is, like, maybe not for you, but like for me, getting showered is just an energizing thing. And even if I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that, but then once I'm showered, and then I'm like, yeah, now I can go, feeling a little bit better compared to just going on the internet, which is my default activity. But is there anything that you want to share, something that you need to do, something that you want to do? Please share. I promise I care. Otherwise, recap and wrap up before we finish up. So to recap and wrap up, yeah, getting stuff done is brilliant. I did a lot of arts that I am, you know what, I'm happy with basically all of these. The only thing that I might change is making the V sharper. And if that's the worst thing, then, I'm really happy. I mean, it's been a long time coming. It's late, but it is basically done. And yes, that's the V. That's possible. I feel like that's just a little bit rounder at the bottom than it could be, and hopefully no one mistakes that for you. The X, I just have trouble drawing X's. I don't know. I mean, this is the best X I could draw. It's not the best X in the world, but it's the best X that I could draw. I promise you, I tried, very hard on that X. I am happy with the Zs, though. I've got lots of experience drawing Zs, because of my name. And also, B's and D's, and these are all the little letters, and that's it done. And then I talked about how getting things finished was done, and how it have the joy of just doing a couple of hours in the morning and then saying, okay, that is the main thing, and then I'm only doing this much for this big ongoing task. That's I'm going to spread it out over a week. Whereas these days I spread stuff out over like one day, which doesn't feel enough. And well, I say I'm going to do it over one day, and then it ends up filling 2 or 3 or 4 days because, yeah, maybe one day is just too unrealistic. But yeah, that was my recap wrap up. Share, spread the word. Thank you very much, everyone. Tomorrow I'll be talking to Manuel Correa, game designer, video game designer, board game designer, lovely person. Check out stuffbybez.com/streams to see what's going on. Episode 1000 will have loads of folk in it. You can already see, I don't know how many people. We've got Rita Modal, Kirsten Lunda, Ryan Estrada, Glenn Ford, Jess Medringham, Kenichugu Ogbuagu, Chris and Suzanne Zinsley, Natalia Pizar, Kathleen Mercury, Eric Lang, Kristen and Andy Looney, Ellie Dix, Anya Coombs, Tori Brown, Eric Royce, Amabel Holland, and Elizabeth Hargrave, and obviously myself. And there's 2 more slots that I need to fill in the next 3 weeks. Hopefully that'll work out. And yeah, I'm excited for that. And for now, the only thing left to say is bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. Now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye.